about the Des Moines music scene?
Not a lot at all.
Do you know anything about the band Slipknot?
Yeah, I've heard about them.
Okay.
They're from Des Moines, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or like Iowa?
Yep.
Being born and raised here, I really don't know much about the music scene other than the Civic Center we've got downtown.
Okay.
But I don't hear much about the shows.
All right.
So.
I don't know much, but I do believe Slipknot is from there.
These sidewalk interview misconceptions aren't uncommon. When most people think of Des Moines music scene, they believe it's made up of heavy metal, Slipknot bands, or ridiculous R&B rappers. While we realize that there is a large and active metal scene in Des Moines, we wanted to show that music is much more diverse and active than most people think. After sitting down and talking with some of the people that make up the Des Moines music scene, most of the misconceptions we found were disproven. Des Moines contains many diverse music genres, including jazz, R&B, and indie rock, all within a tight-knit community.
I'm used to weird.
All right. So, what exactly is your position here? Are you an owner?
Well, yeah, I own the place, and I do all the booking for all the music acts.
Mostly, or is it kind of all over the place?
We do everything.
Yeah.
We do metal, folk, hip-hop, rap, straight up rock, jazz, blues, pop rock, dance stuff.
Cool.
I mean, pretty much everything across the board. I guess I could just give you a few people in different genres. Older music, we've had Eddie Money, Flock of Seagulls, that sort of stuff. Blues, we've had Buddy Guy, Johnny Lang, jam bands, again, Yonder Mountain String Band, Humphreys McGee, STS9.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, metal. Wow, we've done everybody that draws 1,000 people in metal, I want to say.
Yeah.
Deftones, I guess, we're one of the bigger metal acts that we've had here.
83.5 is a music festival. It's what we do is we have a paid area which is gated, and we have some what I'd say, top sort of theater and ballroom acts play that area. Not giant bands, but bigger bands play bigger venues like the Valair or Hoyt Sherman or that sort of venue. And, we saw it as our lightning rod that we could with one event make a big difference in Des Moines by going after those bands that weren't stopping here, and by bringing the community together around music, and by letting fans know that there were a lot of people that like music and a little self-faith in yourself. And so we had this idea, and City of Des Moines gave us a grant, and the Greater Des Moines Community Foundation gave us some money, and with that, and we found a big sponsor in U.S. Cellular, and the three of them really gave us enough money to get this thing started, and off we were trying to make it happen.
Here, it's a smaller city. It's a smaller
really circle of musicians to go around. You know, you can actually know pretty much all the you know, people that play your instrument or around town that play, or other instruments. You know, you can easily understand all the circle of musicians and know who plays what and how they play, as opposed to a bigger city where it's just, you'll never meet everybody that plays. That's also, you know, that's what's interesting about Des Moines is it's a small pond. So in a sense, it is kind of hard to get in the first place, because it's kind of like cliques of musicians. But at the same point, once, you know, if you're in and you're accepted, you know, you're never not going to suddenly stop getting calls to sub in for somebody or to do a gig here, wherever. So.
As far as the venues go, I'd say the venues are good. I think they're real good. It's just hard to get people out because it's so diluted now that there's so many artists everywhere. There's like an artist on every block. Your grandma's probably rapping now. So people see that and they're like, well, he's probably just like artists A, B, and C who I went to the shows and they haven't really perfected their craft yet or whatnot. And so I think it's really hard to make it in the Iowa music scene because of that.
So everything seems cyclical. And we've been through it all. Beyond here, this is an 11-year-old venue, but I worked at Riemann Music for 20 years, even before that and stuff like that. And then played certain bands and everything, so all facets of it just shows that kind of everything comes around. There have been better periods of more places for locals to play. Another thing that varies a little bit is more places for the touring bands to play. There wasn't a People's long ago. So I think we're at some sort of best it's ever been-ish when it comes to all levels of it. If you could lump all the local efforts, local talent with the regional, the struggling little bands that are working in their vans, coming here barely playing for gas money just to get onto the next, hopefully sell a few shirts, to the big touring acts now. Yeah, I will say the Des Moines market has a little more of that community than possibly other ones. Our bands all get along. I don't know, you see them just run together and show up at each other's show. So yeah, I hope it happens everywhere, I guess. I know Des Moines is pretty good. And there's always jerks in any equation. To survive is incredible. With venues, to be in a band, everything. If you can get over those initial startup and the money it takes to do that, and then to get popular, and then still stay together as either a venue or a band or a production company. Yeah. Life is good.